Hello and welcome to today's matchup between the Immanuel Lancers and the Osseo-Fairchild Thunder. Sorry I was late. The roads were very icy and I had practice till 4:30. We did make it here, however, and the Lancers are winning by 3, 8-5, with 11:44 to go. Lancers putting on a bit of press here to start as Osseo will pass it in. Tipped into the hands of Ness. And she'll take it up the floor. Driving element on Eichstead. Eichstead will force it back out and she'll swing it back up top to reset. Dribbling back towards Ness, I'll hand it off to her. Back up top with Newben. Good pass inside, has a lane. Eichstead cuts her off, and a foul is called, which will send Hoffman to the line. Hoffman's first to bounce out. Remains an 8-5 game, as entering in for the Lancers will be Seibel for Omen. Second one bounced out as well. Rebound inside, has some space, comes up a little bit short, gets a rebound again. Bounces it out once more time. Has a chance for a kick out, and a foul is called on Williams. It'll be the third team foul on the Lancers, their second now on Williams. As pass will come in from Ness, gets in quickly, ran right past it, picked up by Williams, who will take it up the floor. Pass to the corner, picked up by Seibel. Back up top with Williams. Go for an option, gonna get a screen from Eichstead, and he's gonna drive inside. Kick back out to Eichstead. Has some space, can take the three, banks off the side, and rebounded by Hoffman. Hoffman got some space. Help comes, gonna pass to the open man, open jumper, comes up short, rebounded by Girdle. Pressure comes, gonna sweep through, look up the floor, no option, gonna send one back to Nelner, who will take it up the floor. Traveling going to be called on the Lancers as it goes back to the Thunder. Pass in will come in from Ness. Becker going to get open. Has Hoffman on the side. Sends throw it up the middle, too high for Ness. Picked up by Girdle. Going to spin and send it up to Nelner. Out of 3-on-2 for a second, sends it a little bit late. Williams still gets a hand on it. Out of position, going to kick out to Eichstead. Sends one back high for Seibel. Into the corner with Williams. Steps through, going to put one up. Rims up and out, rebounded by Nelner. And a jump ball going to be called underneath, which will go back to the Thunder. Lancers still keeping the press on as passing in will be Hoffman. Fakes to Becker, and we'll give it over to Ness. Ness going to take it up sideline. Has a step on Williams, going to take it all the way. No option, going to round it back out. She'll set up herself. Swing into the corner is Becker. Gets past Nelner. Mishandles her dribble, force step back out. Gonna send it up top to Hoffman. Hoffman with a lane inside. Good pass across. And laid up and in by Dunaway. Brings the Thunder back within one, 8-7 with 9:50 to go. Nelner up top. Gonna swing it over to Williams. Gonna pass inside to her. Triple team. Ends up being fouled from behind by Piers Ness. Ness, the third team foul, and she has all three of them. I'm surprised they salted this up for her to try to keep her for the later parts of this game as Nelner looks for an option, running out of time with someone into Eichstead, tipped up by Ness, stolen away by Hoffman. Dug inside, no one comes to pick her up, takes it herself, and fouled on the way in. She'll head back to the line to take two more. Ties of the game now at 8 as Milky and Williams let her in for number 11 Williams and Eichstead. Hoffman's second, giving a 1-point lead. Rims up and out, rebounded by Milky, and she'll take it up the floor immediately. Slows it down, looking for Alex. Going to send it inside to Williams. Williams steps back out, sends one high. Too high for Gurgle. Seibel can't save it out of bounds. As the Thunder take it back. A chance to give themselves a lead after being down by 3-8-5 for the majority of this first half. Have themselves even at 8. Gets it into Becker. Fakes and will send it back over to Hoffman. Throws it back up the floor. Has corner if she wants it. Gonna hand off to her. Open 3. She'll take it. Sends it long and rebounded by Gurgle. Sends it to Alex and she'll take it up the floor. Swings it over to Seibel. Swat out of her hand. She'll get it back. Pass over to Alex. Gets tipped. Handles it in the corner. Back up high for Milky. Has some space. She'll fake and drive inside. Kick back out to Alex. Alex the open 3. Tipped long. Tipped out of bounds. Last touched by Williams. And a timeout called by the Thunder. Game tied today with 8:49 to go here in the first half. And we are back for the timeout. Game tied at 8 with 8:46 and counting to go. It's Ness taking up the floor for the Thunder. Williams right on her blue line. I'll hand it off over to Hoffman. Fakes corner, going to give it right back to Ness. Looks to the paint. Now going to swing it over to Becker. Becker turns. Gurgle going to cut her off. Looks for the kick out. Kick out ran into help. Going to swing it across over to Ness. Ness rims up and in. To make it a 2-point lead for the Thunder. Swings it over to Williams. Back over to Gurgle, wasn't looking. And they're going to say it was not touched by the Thunder heading out of bounds, so they will get it back with a 2-point lead, 10-8. Lancer press going to back off here as the Thunder's offense starting to beat it fairly well and being able to hit pressure quickly. Lancer's been trying to get back on defense after he comes up short. Nearly saved by a jumping Dunahee in front of the line. They'll send it back to the Lancers. Had the open look, rushed the shots a little bit. The Lancers going to get it back with a chance to tie back down the floor. Back over to Seibel. Pass down low, swatted away, and stolen away by Hoffman. Milky in front of her, going to take it anyway. Comes up short, rebounded by Seibel. Hoffman slowly get up, Seibel going to slow it down and travels. Wales and Eichstead will enter back in for Gurgle and Downer. And passing in from the side will be Ness. Gets it into Hoffman. Fakes corner. Spins this into the opposite. Dunahee driving inside. Eichstead over to help. Rims up and in. And a lead now 4 for the Thunder. Milner out, it'll be Williams who will take it up the floor. Swings it over to Wales, pass read nicely. Ball on the floor is being picked up. And now traveling called on Ness. Milky will pass it in from the side. Back up high to Williams. Fakes will swing it over to Seibel. Seibel spins, looking to drive it inside. Cut off. Kicks it back out to Williams. Ness handles the dribble, now getting right back to Seibel. Into the paint with Eichstädt. Eichstädt turns, puts one up, sends it long. Tipped out of bounds by Ness, and that'll stay with the Lancers. Sorry, Kisa. Holman going to enter back in for Seibel. And it'll be Williams who'll pass it in on the baseline. I'm going to switch that out with Omen, as Autumn Williams will enter now in for her sister. Needs an option, going to get it into Williams. Williams a quick shot, bounce up and out short. Rebound and sent up the floor to Hoffman. Hoffman had a step, chose to slow it down. Look at the offense set up. Over to Ness. Ness the open three, going to rim out. Rebound inside, mishandled. Stolen by Wales. And saves it on the side, stuck in the corner. And stepped out of bounds on a pivot. As the Thunder now get a chance to pass it in on the baseline. Are stuck in that corner. It's not a very good option for them. It'll be Hoffman who will have to pass it in. Becker comes over, wide open. Going to take the open three and knock it down. Makes it a 7-point game, 15-8, as Milky takes it back up the floor. And off to Eichstädt. One man to cut inside. Tipped up out of her hands, picked up by Wales. Kick out to Williams. Williams the open shot, going to take it again. That one comes up short, and Oman can't save it. Ness with a 7-point lead, 6:20 to go. Becker with a drive inside as a handoff. Dennehy open jumper. Now it bounces off long, tipped up in the air, picked up by Williams. Now a jump ball going to be called. Getting back to the Lancers. Passing Milky back over Williams as she'll take it up the floor. Sends over to Omen, tipped and stolen away by Hoffman. Moves back across for Ness. Ness comes up short. Picked up by Milky. Now she'll try to push it up the floor. Pressure from behind. Tipped out of her hand. She'll get it back. Drives over. Going to take the dribble from the elbow. Bounces up and out. And rebounded by Becker. Pressure for a second. Now they'll back off. It's Hoffman. Chance to push it before. Had Dennehy underneath for a second. Now going to swing it back over to Becker. Becker with some space. She'll take the three. And there's a foot on the line as Becker makes it a 9-point game. Timeout called by the Lancers. 17-8. A 12-0 run in the last 7 minutes for the Thunder. 5:30 to go here in the first half. Back to timeout, 17-8, a 12-0 run for the Thunder. They currently lead by 9 with 5:30 to go. As Nelner will take it back up the floor for the Lancers. Drives towards Milky, she'll cut inside, tipped up in the air, picked up by Williams. Gonna swing it back across to Eichstädt. Eichstädt finds a lane, lays it up, comes up short, gets her own rebound, tipped out of her hands. I'm gonna say last touched by Thunder. Williams will get a pass in on the baseline. Lancers good pressure there. She couldn't quite finish. Still have a chance to get points here on the pass in baseline. Quick pass to Eichstädt. Eichstädt all alone. Banks it up and in. Lancers take a 7. Bring it back within 7. Woman right up on her. Ness looking for an option. Going to send it inside. Hoffman steps through, swat out of her hands by Williams. Gonna get it back before heading into bounds. Back up to Becker. Ness will swing it back inside. Donahue steps through. Bounces up and out. Gets her own rebound. Triple team. Forced to kick it out to Becker. Swings it around to Hoffman. Hoffman foot on the line. Bounces up the back rim. Rebound inside by Osseo. I'm going to say jump ball, staying with the Thunder. Hoffman will pass it down the baseline. 4:43 left here in the first half. Swings out to Becker. Becker the open three. Bounce up and out. Rebound inside by Donahue. Gonna get it back out. Takes the open three. Pass back over to her. Steps it on Williams. Comes up short. Rebound Omen. Hold it and send it over to Nelner. Managed to get the defensive stand they need. Trying to keep the offense going here. Still down 7. Passing to Williams. Good find. Williams comes up short. Took a bump from behind. As now be picked up and sent out to Hoffman. Back up top is Ness. Gonna hand off to Donahue. Back over to Hoffman. Hoffman trying to dribble through a trap. Gets stuck. Forced to kick it out. Nelner trying to get a hand on it. Now picked back up by Donahue. Back inside. And a foul is called. We're going to enter back in with Gruba entering in on the Thunder side for Newbern. And pass will come in baseline from Ness. Hoffman fakes open three, going to step inside. Looks back corner. Has Becker. Missed her last one. This one comes up short as well. Rebound by Eichstein. She'll try to push it. Has Nelner opposite if she wants it. Eichstein a lot of speed. Going to blow past the first one. Puts a little floater. Banks up and out. Tipped inside and rebounded by Donahue. Kick back out to Becker. Pressure comes. Now going to back off. Back over to Hoffman. Swings it corner. Looks inside. That's right up on her. Gets a hand on it. Tipped up in the air. Now sent right back to her. Drives in on Williams. Comes up short. Picked up by Nelner. Nelner spinning. Trying to go up baseline. Has Girdle in front of her. Girdle turns late and is picked off from behind by Ness. Ness going up sideline. Trying to get past Nelner. Pass inside. Stolen away by Williams. Williams will slow it down and send it out to Nelner. Has Girdle up before if she wants her. And slow it down and set up the play. 3:13 to go. Pass over to Omen. Swatted away by Hoffman. Stolen away once again. For space, going to swing it corner. Going to take the open three as Becker. Comes up short once again. Likes it on the run. Going to get a hand on it. Taking it back up the floor as Gurgle opposite. Gets past the first. Jump stop. Going to come up short. Rebound Gurgle. Looking for a kick out. As Nelner. Going to give it to her. Nelner with three. Won't take it back over to Williams. Williams, a wide open jumper. Comes up short. Hit from behind, hits the floor, and stolen away by Ness. Pass inside, handled by Hoffman. Swing to the corner for Becker. Back up high for Ness, going to swing it around. Low pass, handled by Gruba. Back over to Hoffman, back corner to Becker. Becker's got space. Force bounces up and out as well. Now they're trying to push it. Had her turn for a second, slows one down, a little floater comes up short, gets her own rebound inside, and a jump ball. 2:11 to go as Lynch is going to pass in on the baseline. Seibel going to enter in for Eichstein. Nope, Omen. And Nelner will pass it in. Corner if she wants it. Wants someone inside, gonna give it over to Eichstein. Eichstein gets a hand on it, bounces up and out. Rebound inside by Donahue. And swung back over to Ness. Under 2 minutes to go. Pass inside. Handled by Donahue. Triple team. Swings back across. Stolen away by Nelner. Nelner got a 1-on-4. Gonna try to take it outside. Gonna slow it back down. Has to open jumper. Won't take it. Back to Gurgle. Gurgle's foot on the line. Sends it short. On the floor, and there's going to be another jump ball. Nope, going to get it out. Picked up by Becker. Back across, going to get past Seibel. Has a lane inside. Puts it off too hard. Rebounded by Nelner. Passing up the floor to Seibel. Read well and picked off by Ness. Ness with a 2-on-2. Slows it back down. Has the open three. Thinks about it. Now I'm going to send it back high to Hoffman. Swings it over to Gruba. Back corner to Becker. Another one. Comes up short again. Rebound side by Gruba. Comes up short. Rebound Eichstein. Looking to get some space and will. That's a 2-on-1. Pass over to Seibel. Seibel all alone. Bounces up and out. Gets a rebound again. This one up and in. And the Lancers back within 5. Under a minute to go, and back up the floor goes Hoffman. Lancers defense has stayed strong. Slowly getting back into this game. Currently now within 4. Pass back into the paint with Donahue. Steps through, kick out corner to Becker. Back up high. Swings it around for Gruba. Gruba the deep 2. She knocks it down and is back to a 7-point game. And they're back up the floor under 40 seconds to go. Possession's limited here at the end of the first half. Trying to keep it within manageable. Eichstätt, pass down low. Off-balance shot, sends it long and rebounded by Becker. Back up top with Ness. 24 and counting. Thunder might just want to hold this one out to the end. It's back high for Ness. Ness looking to drive inside. Now they're going to cut her off. Pass corner to Becker. Foot on the line, going back to the Lancers. Milky Leonard in for Omen, along with Anderson for Becker. Now for last chance for Lancers to get some points in. They're going to have Gergel take it up. 10 seconds now. Pass inside to Milky. Fakes pass across, going to hand back out to Gergel. 5 seconds to go. Needs an option. Kick out Milky. Milky time running out. At the buzzer, comes up short. And it'll be the half. 19-12. Lancers keep it within 7 as they will head to the half. We'll be back in 6 minutes for the second half. back for the second half. 19-12, a 7-point lead for the Thunder as they will start off with the ball in the second half. Driving will be Kisau. Bounces back out. And they'll swing it over to Hoffman. Takes the paint. Pressure comes. Going to hand off. Now swung to the corner. Becker open 3. Comes up short and rebounded by Williams. Swings it over to Nelner. Had Milky for a second. Not going to do it. And a double dribble. Looked at it. Thought about passing it. Ended up picking it up. Thunder get it back after a quick Lancer turnover. Kisau back up top. Drives corner. And a travel on Kisau. So a couple of turnovers. Both teams here. Lancers will get it back. Trying to get resituated here. In the first opening minutes of the second half. Williams will pass it into Nelner. And Nelner will take it back up the floor. Swings over to Omen. In the paint with Eichstedt. Eichstedt turns, going to put one up. Rims up and out. Tipped in the air by Gruba. Swings it back into Williams. Williams a wide open shot. Bounced up and out as well. Rebound Milky back up. That one sent long. And rebounded by Kisau. Swings it high to Hoffman. Spinning around, looks back corner. Omen gets a hand on it. Stuck with it. Tipped out of her hands. Picked up by Gruba. Swung to the corner with Becker. Looks to the paint. No option. Back up top with Kisau. Swings around the perimeter to Hoffman. Now back over to Gruba. Gruba the open 3. She'll take it. Comes up short. Rebound short corner by Becker. Trying to get back out to Gruba. Now she'll drive in. Little floater. Knocks down. First points of the half for the Thunder. They bring it up by 9. 21-12. Now they're going to swing it over to Omen. Had Eichstedt down low for a second. Now back up top. Stolen away by Hoffman. Hoffman makes a move. It's a step on Nelner now. Bounce up and off too hard. Rebound inside. Tipped away by Omen. Swatted back by the Thunder, and that'll go back to the Lancers. Now they're back up the floor for the Lancers. Trying to get the offense going here. So the second half had a stretch. They could not get anything to fall. Any good looks. Can't afford to have it here in the second half. Down 9. Nelner nearly gets a steal there as Gruber takes it back up the floor for the Thunder. Williams with a hand on it. Owen on the floor, going to grab it. Looking for a handoff, and traveling calls. Hoffman will send it into Kisau. Owen right on our blue line. Driving inside, dribbles it off a foot. Gonna pick it up and hand it off and swing it back high to Gruba. Gruba thinks about a 3 now, back over to Hoffman. Hoffman into the paint. Look, gets a hand on it. Now spun back inside. Little floater goes up long. Picked up by Eichstedt. Eichstedt trying to turn the corner. Swings it back over to Omen. To Nelner. Back over to Williams. Had Eichstedt for a second. Now Williams is going to drive inside. Cut off. Sends it back high to Nelner. Nelner steps through. Little floater. Banks off too hard. And rebounded by Newborn. Newborn will take it up the floor. Owen cuts her off. Williams has a hand on it. Now stepping in. They dribble through. Stolen away by Nelner. Nelner loses her dribble. Sends it up high to Milky. Landed right back off to Nelner. Girdle preparing to check in for the Lancers. This will be swung over to Williams. Back inside to Nelner. Nelner had a step. Swings over to Omen. Pass too low. Tips out of bounds. Thunder get it back. Omen Lenner in along with Newborn for Kisau and Williams. Kisau up top. Drives in on Omen. Gonna swing it to the corner. Little floater sends it long. Rebounded by Hoffman. Sends it back up top to Becker. Back over to Kisau. Kisau steps through. Gurgle there. Going to step through him. Tipped up and rebounded by Milky. Hands off to Nelner. Eyes open. Omen open. Puts back into the paint. Pass tipped. Nelner gets a hand on it. Now a jump ball. And that'll stay with the Lancers. pass in baseline. Gets up to Eichstead. Eichstead pressure, kick out to Milky. Milky fakes the deep 2. Slips over the elbow, hand off to Gurgle. Gurgle will take the deep 2. Bounces off the side. Milky racing to get it. Keysau gets there first. And a foul is called. Timeout is called. 21-12, a 9-point lead for the Thunder with 12:17 to go in the second half. Back to the timeout, 21-12, 12:15 to go. Sent across to Keysau, back looking to the corner. Looks into the paint, gonna give it to her. Good read from Milky, foot on the line. Offensive up top, Keysau up in 3, foot on the line will make it a 2. Sends it long and picked up by Gurgle. Swings it over to Nelner. Give it over to Omen. As Nelner inside, pressure comes, and a foul is called. Nelner will pass it in on the baseline. Gonna send it up high to Milky. Back over to Nelner. Nelner with some space. She'll take the 3. Sent long, tipped by Gurgle. And out of bounds. Thunder did not get a touch on as they will take it back up the floor. Hoffman gonna swing over to Keysau. Back looking to the corner. Up high to Hoffman. Swings it over to Becker. Back deeper corner. Keysau could drive inside. Milky's there to cut her off. Gonna go for the reverse. Comes up short. Tipped out of bounds. And we'll go back to the Lancers. Williams gonna enter in for Omen. And down there back up the floor. Gets it over to Williams. Swinging around, gonna pass down low. Good read from Hoffman to take it away. Nothing on the floor. Gonna try to slow it down. Steps through. Comes up short and gonna be picked up by Milky. Milky looking for space. Bounces back. And will get set up. Swings over to Williams. Back over to Gurgle. Gurgle slips in, gonna get a screen from Eichstead. And double dribble gonna be called with 10:54 to go. Get over to Hoffman, back to the corner. Steps up, getting right back to Hoffman. Rims it up and in. As the Thunder go up now by 11. I'm going to drive around, gets a screen, steps through, takes a bump. Last touch by the Thunder. As Lance will get a pass in on the baseline. Pass tipped up and stolen away by Keysau. Now swing over to Hoffman. Quick to the corner, open 3. Keysau will take it. She'll knock one down, and now a 14-point lead for the Thunder. Lancers still yet to score here in this first half with 10:18 to go. Now they're going to swing it across, easily stolen away by Keysau. Read it well as a step, and lays it up and in. Lancers now down 16. Pass into Milky. Milky all alone. Comes up short, gets her own rebound, and is fouled. Wales and Williams will enter in for Milky and Milner. And it'll be Gurgle who will pass it in on the baseline. Looks like Osseo too close. He'll back her up and pass it once again as Gruba enters in for Becker. Sends it up high to Williams. Steps through, kicks it over to her sister. Open shot, bounces up and out. And a rebound inside by Osseo. Swings it across to Hoffman. Back over Redwell by Wales, gets a hand on it. Spinning inside, gonna kick out corner. Has some space, gonna dribble in, kick back out to Hoffman. Swings over to Gruba. Back across, open three. Foot on the line, brings it up and in. That was Osseo. Get him up into the 30s now, up by 18. Swings it over to Williams. It's down low. And now a timeout going to be called by the Lancers. 9:19 to go, 30-12, an 18-point lead for the Thunder here in the second half. Back to the timeout, 9:19 to go, an 18-point lead for the Thunder, 30-12, with Williams passing in on the baseline for the Lancers. Like I said, cutting back inside, gonna go and give it to her. Redwell from Hoffman, taken away. Pressure comes and a foul is called. Oh, traveling. Williams will pass it in again. As Ike said inside, Ike said quick shot, bounces up and out, and rebounded by Newborn. Back over to Hoffman. Be back inside. Looking to drive in, Williams over to help. Little floater comes up short, rebounded by Williams. Then she'll hand it off to her sister. Back over to Wales. Had Ike said down low. She'll step out a little farther out, tipped out her hands quickly. Ball on the floor, gonna get it back, kick out to Wales. Wales gonna take the three, comes up short. Ike's gonna save it, but ends up sending it on out of bounds on the other side. Stepping inside, Osseo gonna kick back out. Back up top, no one there, racing, gonna get it back in. Now Hoffman turns, has a lane inside, gets past Eichstead, lays it up and in, and the lead up now to 20. Swings over to Williams, wasn't looking, tipped away, picked up by Gruba, now she'll drive inside, comes up short, gets her own rebound, and is fouled. That'll send Williams to the line to take two. 8:01 to go. Lancers still scoreless here in the second half. See if Williams can change that here at the line. First one bounces out. Mike still takes it and rival enters back in. And Williams will take her second. Rims up and out regardless. Williams stepped over the line. So come up empty on the 2 free throws. Lancers with a little bit of man press. Need a second option to send up high to Gruba. Driving it on Williams. Hands back off up top. Back up high. Keyshaw wasn't quite ready for it. Still got a hand out. Now it's a free lane inside, and he'll lay it up and in. Back up top is Nolan. So to Williams. Gonna pass back inside to her. Cut off, no angle. Gonna set one up anyway. Tipped out of Williams' hands. And out of bounds off Gruba. Williams will exit as Owen enters back in. With number 11, Williams passing in on the baseline. Needs an option, gonna get into Nelner. Nelner up and rims up and in. The Lancers get on the board, back within 20. Bit of press as Keyshaw will take up the floor. Going in baseline, kicks it back out to Hoffman. Back over to Anderson. Into the paint, no one there. Stolen away by Nelner. Sends one deep. Williams was not looking, picked off by Hoffman. So he'll dribble through a couple of defenders and lays back up and in on the other side. Back into Wales. Wales will send it back over to Nelner. 6:50 to go. Gets it over to Williams. Takes the pass inside. Up and he'll swing it over to Omen. Pass tipped out of bounds by Keyshaw. And it'll stay with the Lancers. Milky back in now for Wales. Sends one deep to Milky. Milky's got the one-on-one in the paint. Banks up and off. Gets her own rebound. Comes up short. Tipped up in the air. Rebounded by Omen. Now stolen away. Pressure on her, and he'll dribble out of it. Milky coming in fast from behind, and a foul is called. Second foul of the half for the Lancers, also the second foul of Milky. She'll make the return at the line, as Keyshaw will take her first. Short. Off the front rim, going to be rebounded by Hoffman. Steps back inside. 1-on-2 with Eichstead, swings back across. Steps through, gets someone back high, no one there. Gruber racing to get it off her knee and out of bounds. As the Lancers will get it back. Swing it over to Seibel. Back up top to Nelner. Swings it over to Williams, isn't paying attention. Going to be taken away by Keyshaw. Needs an option now, stuck in the corner. Swings it back high, no one looking. Hoffman going to save it right on the half-court line. Looking right up on her. Swings into the paint, has the open shot. Looks to get a better shot, stepping inside, and a travel. With 5:35 to go. Takes the Williams, going to send it over to Milky. Right back inside to her. Pressure comes, draws the foul, can't quite finish. She'll head to the line, take two. backhand for Seibel. Milner second. Bounces out. Tipped by Gruba. Ball rolling around the floor and picked up and eventually sent back to Gruba, who will swing it back over to Hoffman. Back into the paint. He'll shoot through. Brings up and in for Newburn. Back to a 23-point game as Nelner takes it back up the floor for the Lancers. Gurgle preparing to check back in. Into the paint with Milky. Double team, looking to kick it back out. Stolen right before she can by Kisau. That's Hoffman across to Wanser. Finds her a little bit late as Milky was there. Hoffman ends up getting it back anyway as Milky can't quite handle it. Back over to Gruba. Fakes no send it back high to Hoffman. Gonna drive inside, hands it off. Steps in. Comes up short. Now gonna dribble back out, and he'll hand off to Becker to High. Going back to the Lancers. Back up the floor is Williams. Swings it over to Milky. Fakes in the paint, sends by High to Williams. Back over. In the deep corner, like I said, has some space. Thinks about it, won't take it. Looks to drive baseline, and the foul's called. Williams on the passing baseline, as like I said, High. That's getting picked off. Hoffman. Pass inside, gonna kick out deep corner. Becker, the open three. Bounce up and out. Rebounded by Newburn. Looking for an option, sends it back high. Swung to the corner. Becker, back to Hoffman. Looking for an option, looking to drive inside. Has a lane, comes up short. Rebounded by Newburn. And foul is called. Williams. Becker will pass it in on the baseline. Gets it up top. Foot on the line as it rims up and in. That's Kisau once again. Makes it a 25-point game. 3:40 to go. Williams up top. It over to Omen. Takes High, can get it over to Gurgle. Gurgle looks to the paint. Bounces back up to Williams. Looking to drive inside, poked away and stolen away by Kisau. Swings a corner to Becker. Becker drives in baseline. Needs an option. Gurgle gets a hand on it, and a timeout going to be called by the Thunder. 3:15 to go, 40-15, a 25-point lead. Back from the timeout, 3:15 to go, 40-15, a 25-point lead for the Thunder. Passing in baseline will be in Newburn. Gets in quickly to Kisau. Back to Newburn, has a lane, lays it up and in. Make it a 27-point game. Four. It's over to Omen. Takes it to her and send it back high to Seibel. Over to Eichstedt. Eichstedt drives through. Pressure comes, sweeps through, comes up short, gets her own rebound. Rims up and out again. Seibel gets a hand on it, gonna poke it out. Ball on the floor, Seibel gonna pick it up. Kick out. Williams. Rims up and out. And rebounded by Newbern. Spinning around inside, that's a little floater. Comes up short, rebounded on the floor. Now a jump ball gonna be called. By the Lancers with 2:27 to go. Back to timeout, 42-15, 27-point game. They'll be passing from the Thunder on the baseline. Wales too close. They're going to make her back up, and they'll take it again. Kissing quickly to Kisa, right back to the paint. Comes up short, rebound side by Becker, rims up and in, and to make it a 29-point game. Now up top. Swings it over to Omen. By Kyle, give it to Seibel. Fakes to the paint, now going to give it to her, wasn't looking. Taken away by Kisau. Kisau all the way through. Bounces up short. Rebounded by Seibel and back up top to Nelner. Now we're going to drive around, looking for an option. Back over to Omen. Omen got some space, quick pull. Brings up and out, rebounded by Kisau. Through looks corner and ends up losing it out of bounds. It'll head back to the Lancers with 1:39 to go. Comes over to Omen. Omen right back to her. Pass a little bit behind and taken away. And now a carry going to be called. This is right back to the Lancers with 1:27 to go. Curl back in for Williams. Over the top to Nelner. Nelner drives through. And foul on the floor. That'll be the 6th on the Thunder. Next one will have him shooting. They're going to pass in on the baseline. Back high to Gurgle, a little bit too high and taken away. He'll come from behind. Can get there in time. May come up short. Rebound inside. Comes up short again. Tipped around. Picked up by Seibel. And he'll send up the floor to Nelner. 1:10 to go. Over to Seibel. Takes the handoff inside. And send it over the top. She'll step through. Little floater knocks it down. Bring it back within 27. 50 seconds remaining. Osseo going to drive around, gets past Omen. Has a lane inside and a foul from behind on Omen. Osseo first will bank up and off. 47.3 remaining. Lancers down by 27, 44-17 here in the second half. As Osseo trying to make it 28. And will. 45-17, 47 left as Milner takes it back up the floor. Lancers probably only one or two more possessions here left. Milner looking inside. Fakes the Seibel, and now she's going to give it to her. Pass across, tipped, and stolen away by Newburn. With 25 left, Thunder back up the floor. Osseo spinning around, goes corner to Becker. Becker takes a three. And a wedge in between the... And they'll go to the Lancers with exactly 20 seconds left. Lancers' last chance to get some points here. Seibel pass into Omen. Omen mishandles the pass, had the lane. She couldn't quite get it in time. Now 7 seconds left. Thunder probably should have dribbled this one out. 4, 3, 2. Game. 45-17, a 28-point win for the Thunder. That'll end out the JV Girls Week. They will have a game next Tuesday. The first will be coming up in about 15 minutes. Currently 2-3 on the year. So to get back to 500, we'll be doing it without Loki today. And this will be their final game of the week as well. We will see you there in about 15 minutes.